Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the fastest growing anime of 2020 to 2021. And this comes with no surprise. It's quickly taking over some of the biggest names in anime right now, such as My Hero, and approaching other big names like The Promised Neverland. With Demon Slayer on hold and MIA for whatever reason, we can't help but think now that this anime will keep growing in popularity as more and more people start watching it. There's really nothing in the way of this young anime, so for anyone thinking about getting into the show, I'm going to help be your guide in explaining everything that you might have questions about. So, let's explore the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. As always, if you like these types of videos, make sure you are subscribed and like the video because it helps the YouTube algorithm, and you guys all know what to do. Press the buttons down there. Also, if you guys want to leave a comment down below, I am open to any suggestions on any types of videos that you guys want me to do. Cool? Cool. I want to start this series with our main character. As the rock of any show, the main character is crucial to understand. We have to understand his mindset, his goals, and his powers. So in this video, I will be explaining Yuji Itadori's power. Also, I forgot to mention to turn on the bell while you're down there so you never miss a Jujutsu upload ever again in your entire life, because that would be pretty bad, wouldn't it? Going forward from now, there's an obvious spoiler warning for everything coming up, so if you're not caught up with the anime up to episode 17, make sure you save this video and then come back later after finishing it. I won't be diving into the manga too much, so no manga spoilers down in the comments for people that are anime only watchers. So if you guys want me to go into the manga a little bit, that's for a different video. So now, let's go into Itadori's backstory. Our story begins following Yuji at his high school. Yuji is kind of a nerd and isn't too popular and only hangs out with his two best friends. We see Yuji is very strong and athletic for his age. His track coach literally changed his club to track because of how good he is. We see Yuji is so strong, in fact, that he can easily throw a shot put past world record distances, and he can also sprint past the world record speeds. The head track coach at Yuji's high school was really trying to force him to play so they could actually go win nationals in Japan. And for anyone that doesn't know what track is, that's kind of hard to do. This is just a small demonstration of how strong and fast Yuji is. Although Itadori is extremely strong and fast and is kind of a superhuman, he acts like a normal human and he takes care of his dying, sick grandpa. His grandpa, who is ill, will be the one person to give Itadori his way on the path of life and give him his goals. Itadori simply wants to guide people to a proper death, and we see this many times cut back and forth into the anime. He also wants to save as many people as he can to allow them to have those proper deaths. See, Yuji doesn't think dying to curses is a proper way to go. He wants to see people live out their lives and go to a very old age and die peacefully. This goal of guiding people to a proper death would eventually lead him to an encounter with a cursed spirit. Yuji's occult club, while he is away, actually stumbles upon a cursed object, which allows more curses to come into the real world, and it actually gets them in quite the pickle. In a tough situation, Yuji is forced to eat a finger of Sukuna, a special grade cursed object that was protecting his school. This would kill most people instantly and poison their body, but Itadori pulls off a 1 in a million chance, embracing the power, and becomes Sukuna's vessel. Now that we have Yuji's backstory and how he got to where he is, let's go into his powers a little bit. To start, Itadori in the story is still training in his use of curse energy and curse techniques. He doesn't have many attacks as of episodes 16 and 17, but he's still learning to use curse techniques more effectively with every episode. Let's start with his really only main attack, the Divergent Fist. While undergoing his training with Gojo, Sensei explained to Yuji that his curse energy cannot keep up with his pure speed and power quite yet because he is not that good at controlling it. This causes a delay effect in his curse energy, and Itadori uses this not as a hindrance, but actually includes it into his fighting style. He coats his fist in curse energy, and when he throws a punch, only a little bit of that curse energy is put into the punch. It is stated in the show that only about 20% of this curse energy that Yuji has goes into the first initial punch. Knowing this, it catches a lot of opponents off guard. They think that this kid doesn't have that much energy behind his punches. But then, that's when the second wave hits. Since his curse energy is delayed, the flood of curse energy suddenly hits the target with all of Yuji's curse energy. This causes a correlation effect where his power adds up to 120%. The percent from the original hit, and then the 100% of the power comes from the delayed curse energy. Usually this would be very difficult for a sorcerer to pull off, but it becomes natural to Yuji. Some speculate this is because of the curse within Yuji, Sukuna. In episode 16, we see that Yuji in his fight with Todo, actually learns how to get rid of this delay and use all of his curse energy in all of his body. So interesting to see where that goes. So now that we've covered Yuji, let's cover the other half of him, Sukuna. Sukuna is a special grade curse that Yuji bonded with in the first episode of the show. This is due to him eating a finger of Sukuna, and like I said, he pulled off a 1 in a million chance of actually binding with the curse. So, as Yuji eats more and more of Sukuna's 20 fingers, Sukuna himself will go stronger and stronger within him. This also kind of ties into his backstory that the plan that Gojo has for Itadori is for him to eat as many fingers as he can, as long as he can manage the power and control Sukuna. But once Sukuna becomes too strong for him to handle, they will have to kill Itadori and Sukuna in one swoop. This worries the higher-ups of Jujutsu Tech, and they wanted to kill Itadori as soon as possible. Even up to episode 16, we see that people are planning to take out Itadori anytime they can. This is because he's essentially a ticking time bomb before he loses control of Sukuna. Sukuna is extremely strong, and we've seen him lay out a domain with only about 2 of his fingers digested by Yuji, and this is something that only special grade curses can do. He easily made quick work of the special grade curse that he fought in episode 4, and this was all done with only a few of his 20 fingers. Itadori can switch with Sukuna and control him for now, but once Sukuna takes over, he's free to do whatever he wants. To try and control Sukuna a little bit more, Yuji made a binding vow with him. This pact stated that Sukuna could switch whenever he wanted if he started chanting the word extension, and that Yuji would forget the pact after it was made. Absolutely refusing this deal, Sukuna then offered that he would not kill or harm anyone in the time that he was switched. Of course, Sukuna is up to something here, and we will most likely find one way or another how he can exploit or get around this binding vow. Yuji hasn't swapped with Sukuna since, as he almost killed one of his friends, and probably won't switch on his own accord with Sukuna until he can fully control him and switch back and forth. This is all we know about Yuji right now, and he continues to grow stronger every day and every episode. It was stated by Gojo that Itadori couldn't use curse techniques quite yet, as they are etched into the body from birth, and Yuji wasn't a sorcerer from birth, but that Sukuna's techniques will slowly become his own as they share the same consciousness. This is all we know about Itadori's powers for now as of episode 16. I plan on doing weekly episode reviews as new episodes come out, so stay tuned for those. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all. And make sure you subscribe for more content and turn on that bell so you never miss another upload. Also, like that video while you're down there, and it helps me out greatly, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.